Give that man a prize. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down all the Power 5 teams, team by team. We are making a mad dash to get all these in. Previews and predictions for all the teams in the country leading up to the opening kickoff. When I speak of somebody doing a great job, I'm speaking of Matt Luke at Ole Miss. Yeah, they only went 6-6, but let's not forget the mess that Hugh Freeze left, both logistically with the roster, with the scholarships, but also morally there on campus and with the football program. And Matt Luke picked it up. He brought respect. He brought dignity. He brought a sense of pride back to the program and the football team. And in the process, he won 6 football games. All right. He's a Ole Miss man who is looking to keep this job, and the interim tag will either continue to be placed throughout the season, and then he will win the job outright, or it's on to somebody else. All right. His hope, Matt Luke, as a head coach in Oxford, rests on Jordan Ta'amu. He stepped in for Shea Patterson, and the offense did not miss a beat. Now, Patterson, sure, he played against the better defenses, but not too bad for Ta'amu. He stepped right in, and again, the offensive numbers actually went up, but the competition on the other side down. But right out of the gate, 20 for 30 against Arkansas for 368 through the air. Kentucky the next week, 31 of 40, 382 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. All in all, Ta'amu completed 66.5% of his passes, 11 touchdowns, and 4 picks. His guy on the outside, a guy to watch. Watch an Ole Miss football game just to see A.J. Brown in action. 75 catches, 11 touchdowns, one of the best in college football. He's got a senior and DeMarcus Lodge to take the heat off of him at 41 catches, 7 touchdowns. And the sophomore DK Metcalf, 39 catches, 7 touchdowns. The tight end figures to be Dawson Knox, who caught 24 passes last year. All right. So they got Brown, Lodge, and Metcalf as the outside receivers. They will need to play some other wide receivers. They've got nobody who's done anything, but they've got some 4 stars in Miles Battle and Elijah Moore, who are very, very interesting prospects. All right, to the ground game and replacing 1,000-yard rusher Jordan Wilkins. You've got the 2 main contributors here. Most likely are going to be Eric Swinney, who gained 195 yards last year, and the junior Devon Penniman, who came on with 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. A couple players emerged in spring practice, Isaiah Woolard and Scotty Phillips. So you got 4 backs in play in replacing Wilkins. All right, Greg Little up front is a beast. He's a monster. He's one of the best in college football. Let's not forget about him. And 104 career total starts along the offensive line, coming back with 5 returning juniors or seniors. The offense could be extremely fun to watch. They're loaded for the most part if they can find a running back or 2 to get the job done. The defense, remember the Land Sharks? This was the 2nd-rated defense in college football in 2014, according to the advanced metrics. Number 2 in the nation in 2014. Number 113 in 2017, 113th in the nation in defensive metrics, S&P Plus. And they lost their stars from last year, guys like Breland Speaks and Marquise Haynes, who was a premier pass rusher in the SEC. This defense gave up 270 rushing yards per game against SEC opponents. All right, these are the guys that are back. They do have some experience along the first line of the defense, the first tier, the first level. Linebackers Dedrick Bing-Jukes, Willie Hibbler, and Vernon Dasher comes in from the JUCO ranks. And cornerbacks, both the starters are back in Kendarius Webster, who's a link to the Hugh Freeze past, the tremendous teams that beat Alabama back-to-back. And then you've got Miles Hansfield, who totaled 42 tackles. Ole Miss can't make a bowl game, but they can make things interesting in the SEC West and ruin things for a number of teams. They've got a very intriguing matchup with Texas Tech, who's going to throw it all over the field, of course. This is a Week 1 matchup in Houston. I like Ole Miss to win that game. Therefore, they sweep in the non-conference at 4-0. And they've got South Carolina. They've got Vandy out of the SEC Eastern Division, not necessarily the toughest draw there. I think Ole Miss defeats, let's say, Arkansas. Let's say they defeat Vandy and they steal one other game, whether that's against South Carolina, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, somebody else, maybe LSU. So for the Rebels, they go 7-5, they go 3-5 in the SEC. My take on Ole Miss football: leave your email address. If you want to join the weekly newsletter, just send it to MarkRogersTV at Gmail. We'll be back with the rest of the SEC West.